Hi, I'm Rikke from Rikke.me, and in this video I want to talk to you about how you can use your fears and your worries to fuel and fast track your transition rather than having them hold you back. The key though is to focus on the kind of fears and worries that most career changers and most new entrepreneurs, they tend to totally underestimate. And here's what I mean by that. Since I started my career transition and entrepreneurship consultancy back in 2005, I've consistently noticed this. Most smart people tend to totally overestimate the risks of making a big transition. As a result, they therefore tend to totally underestimate the risks of staying stuck in the career or in the job they hate and not going for what they really want. But here's the deal, which I've also noticed having worked with hundreds of clients and advised thousands more, is that the risks that you associate and are so afraid of when it comes to making a big transition and starting your own company, most of those risks and fears are they're just imagined, they're not real. And even the few that still remain, there are practical ways of dealing with them. Whereas the fears and risks associated with staying stuck and not going for what you really want, they are very real and they're a lot more difficult to deal with. And that's why by focusing on them, you can really fast track your career, because they are the ones, the risks and the fears of not making that transition you really want to make, they're the ones that should worry you, not the ones of going for what you want. So let me explain to you what I mean. Right now, I can imagine if you're like most people in transition, you are probably worried about, oh my God, I'm never going to make money again if I make a career change, or how can I afford to change career? Or you might be worried about, oh man, I'm going to be throwing it all away, all this I worked so hard for. Or the other biggie is fear of failure. If I change career, if I start my own business, I'm going to become a total failure. Do I have your attention, right? Probably that's what I call the three biggies that people worry so much about. But here's the deal. There are very practical ways of dealing with those. Just quickly, and then below, I will link links to videos where I deal with them individually. But here's the deal, something like money, especially if you're watching this video right now, you're probably a professional. You are in a job where actually you can start things on the side and keep making money whilst you make your transition. That's what the majority of my clients, they do. Also think about it, if you choose the right, especially business, there's no reason why you can not make way more money down the line than you ever could if you stayed in your own job. So there are many ways of dealing with the money issue. It's just about being smart about how long your transition takes, what it is you want to do instead, and whether it's a business. So there are ways around it. And again, I got videos below. Number 2 is that fear around throwing it all away. Oh, Rikke, I've been, a lawyer, accountant, a marketing professional, you name it. Up until this moment, I worked so hard to get where I am. I'm so afraid I'm going to throw that all away by changing career. Here's the deal. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you're a really unhappy lawyer, really unhappy finance person, IT person, you name it. So clearly something needs to go, right? What matters is that you throw away the things that are causing you the most pain, identifying that. The rest can stay. All the great skills that you have, you can take them with you into your next career, into your business. And here's the deal, even if you screw around for a year or two and you don't get it right, you can always go back to your profession. It's not going anywhere. If you're watching this video, I know it's because you're an amazing, smart person. You want to educate yourself. That means they're going to want you back if you want to. Not a problem. Just make sure you keep your network really, really strong. So again, dealt with. Third one, fear of failure. Here's the deal, and let me challenge you, and I really mean this in a nice way. Isn't the real failure you staying stuck in a job or career or business you don't like? Also, secondly, here's what I noticed. Fear of failure never goes away. So wouldn't you rather do something that is worth failing for? Because if you've got a fear of failure, just because you change career, just because you start your own business, you're still going to have a fear of failure. But it's going to be damn worth failing for because you're going to love doing it. All right. So quickly brushing those off, because frankly, as I say, most of them are totally imagined. You don't have to worry about it. And if you are worried, there are ways of dealing with it. However, let's move on to the things that you should really worry about. And that's the risk and the fears of staying stuck where you are right now, because those ones are rarely imagined. They're real, and there are very few ways of dealing with them. So here's my challenge to you. Think about that job, that position you're in right now that you really want to get away from. Let's say that you stay. What does that mean? It means you will never get to experience your full potential. How good could work get? How good could you get? You will never get to experience what it's like to get out of bed and truly want to go to work in the morning, because you know that work is one of the things that can make you more of who you are, that you can love, and that can really give you so much fulfillment. You care about the subject, you're enthused. Also think about the risk of you staying. If you're not happy in your current profession, your current job, you will de-skill yourself, because you're not going to feel like educating yourself further, putting yourself forward for the different things going on in your company. So you slowly de-skill yourself and become irrelevant. Think about the amount of stress, resentfulness, resentment, regret that you're going to have accumulating. Just think about that, how that's going to impact your day-to-day life. How is it going to impact your relationship with your spouse, with your children, with your friends, with yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror? Disease, illness, stress, all of that stuff. But also, you will keep working on someone else's dream. Is that really what you want? Think about it. A year, 2, 3, 4, 10 from now, what kind of person are you going to turn into if you don't change now? Do you want to be that resentful, regretful person? I don't think so. So this is what I want you to worry about. These are the things I want you to worry about, because those fears are real. Those risks are real, and they're the ones you can use to fuel your transition. So what I want you to do right now, I want you to get a piece of paper or an iPad, whatever you've got. Write down the biggest fears and risks associated with you staying. Pick the top 3 and remind yourself on a daily basis why you need to make that big change now. Because that is how you can use your fears to fuel you. So focus on those fears of staying put and of not making the transition. Because the fears that are associated with making it, as you can see, there are always ways of dealing with them. All right? So what I want you to do right now, come on to rikke.me/kickstart. I've got 3 specific things over there you can do to get started today. Thank you.